Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ, you're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. Got a match for you today in the Soviet Tier 4 Premium Destroyer Gremyaschy. As you can see, is an epicenter match on Trident. Let's talk about the Gremyaschy. It was one of 29 Gnevny-class destroyers, Project 7 destroyer, which was actually a redesign of the Italian Folgore class. All right. It says in modifying the design, they overloaded a ship that was already somewhat marginally stable. So it doesn't sound very safe. Anyway, the Gremyaschy performed well, I guess. It ended up being scuttled in October of 1957, but it did do a bunch of shelling. Looks like it shelled the Norwegian port of Vardo and fought back against the Z-26. So yeah, I mean, it did some stuff during the war. I think it is one of the strongest premium destroyers at this tier. I mean, I know, yes, the Kamikaze is out there, and it is probably the most overpowered ship in the game. But that being said, you're talking about a Tier 5 destroyer downgraded to Tier 4. It has 8-kilometer torpedoes, which that Tier 5 destroyer doesn't have. It's penalized with somewhat of a longer reload of the main battery, but at the end of the day, this is a nerfed high-tier ship. And I believe it was the first Russian ship ever in the game, along with Gurin as its commander. All right, so we're moving over here to the left side of the map. You can see T-22 is out there. Well, I know I'm a better gunboat than the T-22, even though I have a reduced reload from my sister ship at Tier 5. We'll fire some torpedoes anticipating the movement of the T-22. And since he's already spotted, we're going to throw on the brakes and get into our smoke here and use these good Russian guns to light him up. And as you can see, there is the first blood medal for the Gremyaschy. All right, only one destroyer left in the match. Got some other ships over here. I do have WoW's builds open to give you guys some stats real quickly. Sigma of the Gremyaschy 2.0, 3.56 fires per minute. Arming threshold of the armor-piercing shells 22 millimeters. Torpedo detection time 7.69 seconds. And later on in the match, we will get into our stat comparison at Tier 4. But make no mistake, the Gremyaschy is a Russian destroyer. It doesn't have the rate of fire of the higher tier ships, but it has good torpedoes. It is fast. It has okay hit points. I guess we'll see if that's really true when we do the stat comparison. But I think it is a very strong ship. Here we're lighting up Emile Bertin. We set him on fire. We throw some torpedoes out there. And we switch to our armor piercing. Let's see what the armor piercing can do against a cruiser at about 4 kilometers. Maybe not the greatest. Thankfully, the Emile Bertin isn't really shooting at me. Not seeing the penetration and damage I want here. The Emile Bertin is turning away. Yeah, take a pretty good salvo there. We'll switch back to HE and continue our turn, managing to dodge some return fire. And we switch back to armor piercing because the Emile Bertin wants to get back in it. But now we're under 4 kilometers. Will that make a difference for the armor piercing shells of the Gremyaschy? Maybe. Yes. Hit the Citadel, and we finished off Emile Bertin. It didn't help the Emile Bertin that he wasn't very good at aiming. It also didn't help the Emile Bertin that our teammates smashed him at one point during that encounter. All right, kill number 2. Moving in here to the outskirts of the cap. There's an Itzislav. We're too far away to go after him. Is Azuchi behind an island? Can't go after him. Is that an Itzislav or was that an Izakazi? Might have been Izakazi. I'm going to bite my tongue on that. The destroyer and the cap might have been a Izakazi. All right, we'll launch both sets of torpedoes at the Izuzuchi's intended path of travel. It was the Itslav. So that's a down tier 3 Russian destroyer. It is a gunboat, so we're going to tread a little bit lightly here because we're just over half hit points. But we do get into the epicenter, and so we're going to hang out here in the Gremyaschy. Pardon me, still getting over some type of ailment. Who knows? I have so many at this point, I'm just like, whatever. I have another cold. It could be allergies. It was 78 degrees yesterday. It could be a cold. It's 38 degrees this morning. So, who knows? All right. The Yugoslav, or the Izuzuchi didn't come into the cap. So we're capping out. And we do cap out. Sorry, I had to sneeze. All right, Svetlana, Izuzuchi over there. Looks like they want to come into the cap. We can launch torpedoes. I think it'll hold off a little bit or launch backwards because I think he is turning when he's coming to the cap. There's our second solo base cap for the first two interior rings of the epicenter. Svetlana out there is a ship I want to avoid if I can. So we're turning and going bow on as we're backing up. And that is just part of what my good, close, longtime personal friend George Bush refers to as strategery. And we are spotted, probably by the destroyer. We do get a torpedo strike. Can we get a kill pitch on the Jusano? We do get a kill pitch unleashed. All right, kill number 3. Can we get a kill pitch on the Izuzuchi? Although we did torp him. Can we get it? Can we get it? No, we cannot. So look at that. The kill pitch giveth, and the kill pitch taketh away. All right, Iron Duke over there. We are lighting him up. They've still got a destroyer out there. We're going to get some cap defended flags here by shooting at the Iron Duke from behind this little outcropping, which gives us a little bit of cover. Even though we're in the smoke screen, he probably can't get us anyway. Every little bit helps, folks. All right, between the rocks into the superstructure of the Iron Duke, and these green cap defended flags are a great way to acquire base XP. So don't forget to get them whenever you can. All right, Iron Duke coming around the mountain. Am I going to launch there, or am I going to adjust my aim? Let's adjust our aim. All right, salvo number 1, out. And we're just going to let it go with just one salvo right now. Are we going to do a second salvo, or are we going to wait? Our smoke screen's about to die. We lose a torpedo. We do get a torpedo strike on the Iron Duke. Second set of torpedoes as he engages us. And he's not going to be able to get out of the way, folks. Too fast. And thus endeth the Iron Duke. Kill number 4. All right, Svetlana over there. We are officially on the hunt for a Kraken in the Gremyaschy. Svetlana is a ship very scary to me. We are shooting armor piercing. He is bow on, so it doesn't really do anything. We're going to put out the fire and keep the armor piercing loaded. The Svetlana gets absolutely smashed, and he is dead before I can kill pinch him. Still got a Kaiser out there and a destroyer. So we're going to move all the way into the cap circle to transverse it in order to go after one of these 2 remaining ships. So what have we seen here in the Gremyaschy? We've seen relatively quick torpedoes that, even though they have what I would consider maybe a little bit longer torpedo reaction time, ship like the Iron Duke doesn't have the maneuverability to get out of the way. We've seen great ballistics from these Russian guns, not having any problems starting fires, didn't have any problem getting into Citadel on a broadside cruiser at closer ranges. So at the end of the day, we've seen a little bit of everything, that the tools that this Project 7 destroyer brings to the game. And I dare say, I think it is a little bit overpowered at Tier 4. Maybe doesn't have the ability to absolutely wreck a game. Missed out on the Kraken there. Doesn't have the ability to wreck a game like the Kamikaze does. But on the other hand, you can dominate other destroyers with these Russian guns. Just the overall play characteristics of this Project 7 destroyer. All right, so we're moving out here. We are trying to get a torpedo strike here on the Kaiser in order to get that Kraken unleashed, folks. One set of torpedoes is out. Second set of torpedoes is out. The Kaiser looks like he's going to keep trundling along in the same way, and we are totally okay with that as long as he ends up eating our torpedoes. Because the cap is meaningless at this point, we're going to leave the cap circle. And it is a consideration when it comes to points being accrued. Kaiser's starting to turn away, so I am going to engage him with the main battery. First salvo totally missed. He's now turning all the way around. I don't think he spotted my torpedoes, but I think he anticipated them. Although I don't know how, other than just sheer luck. So we're going to be left to gunboat the Kaiser. We're working on a torpedo reload. Looks like we got about 20 seconds and counting, maybe 15 and counting now. So we're trying to set the Kaiser on fire. First and foremost, we don't have a ton of hit points left, and so that's why I'm changing my heading here to make me less easy to shoot at. And by doing so, we managed to dodge the salvo coming in from the Kaiser. Continuing to turn. All right, that one knocked out a turret. That's not good. But we are getting him back in torpedo range. He should anticipate that. Salvo number 1. So we're going to turn back and give him more of a bow-on profile. Here comes another salvo from his main guns. Can we dodge? Yes, we can without really even looking. And now we're going to turn. Oh, we take another hit. I didn't think he had that many guns. We're going to turn and fire out and try to set him on fire. And I did not fire my second set of torpedoes that I should have. And here's why. 3 torpedo strikes. We take him down to the very end. We are shooting. If I just had a quicker reload, or if I could set him on fire, I think we could have got the Kraken. But now the clock, the points, everything is working against us. We are shooting the Kaiser for everything we have. We don't have any hit points left. We need to set him on fire. We need to get this kill. And now he is healing. And we do not have the rate of fire to get it done. I should not have held those torpedoes. And we ended up with a Kraken fail. And it hurt me deeply. What a way to end our trip through the Russian destroyer tech tree. All right, here we are on the victory screen. High caliber medal, first blood medal, 95,686 total damage, almost 80 main battery hits, 8 torpedo strikes, 4 big kills, 6 cap defended flags, 2 solo base caps, an assisted base cap, and a Kraken fail. We ended up with just over 275,000 silver and 5901 ship XP and commander XP in the Gremyaschy. Oh, it hurt. This hurt me deeply. All right, there we are at the top of the board. 2185 base XP, 2 medals, 4 big kills, leading the way for the blue team. If the Gremyaschy comes up for sale, I strongly suggest, if you like what you saw here, it is worth it. It is a strong destroyer. I never feel outgunned, even when down tier, because it also has those 8-kilometer torpedoes. And I was using the gunboat commander, which I don't really do in this ship.